Hey guys, this is Coop from Garage Home Reviews. Welcome to the garage. Today we're reviewing the IM3000. I've had this in the garage for 4 months. We got it from Home Gym Con where we tested it. This is a pre-release version, but I think it's gonna be very similar to the version that's actually released. Today I wanna walk through all the updates that they made to this versus the IM2000 and give you a recommendation on it versus all the others that are on the market. But I will say, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe, and if you'd like to see any comparisons on this versus the myriad of squat racks that are out there, let me know in the comments. I will say one video I'm working on is a tier list for all the all-in-one racks. Subscribe if you'd like to see that. Let's start up front. This bad boy is wide. Most functional trainers that are on all-in-one racks are the 47 inches or so. This bad boy is 79 inches. If you like a full-width functional trainer, this is one of the fewer racks that's on the market that allows you to do that. One thing that a lot of people would say initially was it offers more stretch. The reality is, if you think about it, the center point of the pulleys being closer together would probably give you more stretch than it being wider, say on a cable fly. There are some movements, if you had really short cable handles, where you could be able to do like a full stretch cable curl that you can't do on most racks, that you can kind of do on this. It also allows you to have more room off the side, or you could be using the functional trainer system while somebody is using the rack system. Now the height is 88 inches for those of you that are basement dwellers. That may or may not work, but typically racks are around 90 inches or less. So this meets about that same spec. The trolleys that are on the front are a smooth trolley. They're also a very simple trolley. They're using a 2x2 upright versus a 3x3. That can be a downside because you can't use a lot of other companies' accessories. Also because Ironmaster does something, again, that really nobody else does, and they only do holes on the sides. That makes it so it's cheaper for them to manufacture, but also makes it so it's difficult to add attachments. Even if you wanted to, because they had holes, because of the way it's angled, it may not work anyways. So just something to be aware of. The trolley does allow you to go up and down pretty quickly and easily using a nice aluminum pop pin. They're using aluminum pulleys all throughout, and they are that cool red anodized. One thing that is unique, again, about Ironmaster, going back to the things that they do that really nobody else does, they do have numbers on every hole, which is nice. And the way that they do this is they actually paint the upright. They then cut out the number using etching or laser cut or something. So that's just raw steel under there, and then they go back over with a clear coat. So it makes it so you can go up and down on the upright very smoothly without rollers. Like, it is actually very smooth. It's the same kind of system they use for their self-spotter bar. These though, they do add holes just on the front side, and they're large holes. That also means you can't use other attachments that go all the way through. Now, something I do want to call out on this, just as a comparison, I went ahead and took a measurement of this where I was doing cable flies, and I compared them to one of the newer racks that's on the market, and that is the Force USA C20 that has the fully articulating arms. The width on this, just to show you, to the pulleys is around 75 inches in use. Just to show you these pulleys in use, between 65 and 67, depending on the angle. So you're not getting quite as wide as what you get on the Force USA C20, and it's taking up more space due to the uprights. Something to be aware of. Now, what's powering this entire cable system for the front functional trainer and also some others is these two stacks on the back. They're using two stacks that are on a 2-to-1 ratio off the front. That's typical for functional trainers. Gives you more cable travel. That means the front pole is going to have a max of 100 pounds per side. 200 pounds is kind of average for start weight for a lot of functional trainer racks, but they often offer upgrade kits up to 300 pounds. Ironmaster does not. Now, they are on guide rods, and they're a very smooth system. Let me go ahead and take off my goofy vest, and I'll show you a set. So ordinarily, you'd probably store these near the top. You'd put them around where you want them. It's pretty easy to go up and down using one hand. These are the handles that come with them, which are a pretty nice handle, aluminum, lightweight, and knurled. Just show you max cable travel. It's a lot. It's quite a bit. So you can come all the way out. I mean, you can see that's a lot of cable travel, which tells me they could have made the weight stacks even heavier. I don't think it's necessary, but just something they could do because you have a lot of travel. It is very smooth. They're on guide rods. If you oil them, they're gonna feel very good. The stretch is unique to what you'd see on most machines that don't have the articulating arms for all-in-one trainers, but overall, feels pretty good. Another unique thing about the IM3000 versus the IM2000 is they have the centrally located low row lat pull down that is powered by the stacks. The reason I said that you don't necessarily need more than 200 pounds on each side is they're doing similar pulley magic to what Force USA is doing, but they're doing it on a single pulley exit point. What I mean by that is every time you use the low row, every time you use the lat pull down, you're pulling both stacks at the same time. You can't do bilateral training, which some people really like to do. Personally, I like a single exit point. It's just simpler, so I don't have to have like the banana thing. You have a 1-to-2 ratio, meaning you have 400 pounds to pull with for a low row and lat pull down. That's a lot of freaking weight for a lat pull down. But let me go ahead and show you a set for low rows. The low row is unique in that it's not off the floor. That's something that's very nice. Most low rows come off the floor. They integrated both the low row foot plates where you put their belt squat attachment, sold separately, if you would like to use it. So this allows you to have a lever belt squat. We reviewed it on the IM2000 that attaches to the Smith machine for weight. Pretty cool idea, but they also have it here. It would be nice if these were adjustable in and out, but it's nice that they're there. You pull up your Super Pro bench, set your weight where you want, and then you go in for your set. It feels very smooth. As you can see right here, this is where the two pulleys are coming together. That gives you that much cable travel, that much, which isn't a ton, but is definitely enough for low rows. The stacks are in 10-pound increments, so really you're adjusting in 20-pound increments, but one thing you can do if you want to do less increments is you can just offset them. So for instance, I can put this one on 100 pounds, and I can put this one on 90 pounds. That means I'm gonna have 190 pounds versus 200 pounds. And you can still use it that way without a problem. But then you can do lat pull downs. The way that you set up a lat pull down is you pull down this bar, which by the way, the self spotter bar is the same exact bar that's used on the IM2000. It's a pretty unique design when it came out 20 years ago, but it hasn't really had a lot of updates since. One of the things that they kept on here is this safety. I mean, it would be nice if they updated this. Pop pin would be nice, something other than this. I mean, it's not like a huge deal, but you are interacting with this quite a bit because you're taking it in and out. But you use this for your leg catch. So you put this where you want. You can put a foam bar on here. You can put this back in here. It stays in there. You can then take down your lat pull down bar, add 400 pounds. Don't show that. Then do your lat pull downs. Feels very similar to what you find on the low row. And when you want it out of use, it does have a bar hanger, so you can just set it there. Then to the self spotter bar. Technically, this is a Smith machine bar. It's unique for Ironmaster. It's just really out of the box and nobody else really does it like this, but it works. If you would have showed me this initially and I never used it, I'd be like, why would you not use guide rods? It'd be a lot smoother. But the reality is, this is very quiet and also very smooth. Feels really good. Now it is a 36-pound bar if you include the Olympic weight sleeves, 32 if they're off, but it's a good system. If you want to see my full thoughts on this, go watch the IM2000 review. I'll just show you a set of bench just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Now, one thing you probably want to set up your safety spotter, which you can do. This is honestly a very safe way to lift. You can still use these uprights for J-cups. They don't have a product page for this. Your rack does not come standard with J-cups. It would be nice if they just included these, but they're including them as optional accessories if you want to pay for them. Same thing with the belt squat and spotter arms. They do make spotter arms if you want to do barbell movements right here, which they're nice, but again, you have to pay extra if you want them. So if you plan to use any barbells on these, make sure you get both of these. Okay, just show you bench on here and kind of the smoothness. Okay, there are no IWF or IPF marks on here. It is a knurled bar, it's chromed. It feels good. It's also pretty thick. I would say 32 or 34 millimeters. They don't list it on the site. The way that you do this Smith is instead of going out, you actually go the other ways and then come out. It feels very smooth. It's not quite as smooth as what you would find with a Smith machine from like a commercial gym is going to be smoother, but it definitely is smoother than many cheaper Smith machines you find on racks, but this isn't a cheap rack. I will say the one I'm looking at across the way, the Force USA C20, is smoother than this, but this does have some additional things that you can do with it that can't, such as their integrated belt squat. Then lastly, before I break down what I think of the entire unit, is their ultimate chin-up bar. Honestly, this is one of the best chin-up bars on the market because it's so versatile. These can come fully out and you can flip them every which way that you'd like so that you have just a billion different ways and a billion different ways to do pull-ups, any grips that you want. They are knurled. They are chromed. They do have this nice chrome knob now, which I think is pretty cool that's knurled. It would be sweet if you could add this to other racks. I don't think this is a reason to buy the rack unless literally all you do is chin-ups, but it is a nice addition that really you can only get on Ironmaster racks. All right, so the past couple of years have kind of been the years of all-in-one racks, which means this is not the only one that does this stuff. It has some unique things, such as their self-spotter bar, a little bit wider on the front for the functional trainer, and a low row off the floor that does 400 pounds on both lat pull down and low row from a single exit point. Those are really cool features. The question is, are those the things that you want the most and are willing to pay for them? As of this video, I'm making this video before they've even told me the price. I don't have a clue of the price. I have the price now. $4,500. It's actually less than I expected, but I think I can give you a better recommendation now that I actually know the price, because that's really what you're basing the value and recommendation on. Here's what I'll say. If you highly value the Ironmaster ecosystem, you don't plan to add other attachments, it's a fantastic rack. Ironmaster is going to service it, it's good quality, all those things you'd come to expect from Ironmaster, but you are very much so locked into their ecosystem. And for many of you, that may just be a complete deal breaker. For me personally, if I could only have one rack in my gym, this would not be the rack. Not because it's not good, but because I want a modular system that I can add attachments to and build on over time. The gold standard is the 3x3 upright with 1-inch holes or 5/8 holes. This doesn't have that. So because it doesn't have that, I just wouldn't buy it. It also takes up extra space due to the width. A better option for that today is something like the Force USA that has the free motion arms or the Get RX arms. That is going to be what the standard is going forward. This is trying to add that, but in a fixed plane. And I think it's a cool idea. And I don't think anybody getting the Ironmaster rack is going to be like, man, I hate this rack because it's premium and well done. It just feels like a generation too late. Feels like that problem's been solved with the new arms and with the modular system you can have and everything. But I will say the price at $4,500 is very fair. I thought they were going to come in higher. You do have to add a bunch of attachments and things, so the price adds up if you really want to do different things with the rack. But generally, I'm actually pretty happy with the price. So is this the one that I get? I'd only recommend it if you really like Ironmaster. Maybe you want to upgrade from the IM2000 and want something that has the same feature set, but with a little bit more. For most other people, honestly, with all the other racks, I think it would probably behoove you to do your research and make sure you look at the other ones because there are a lot. This is the IM3000. Love to know what you think of it. If you like Ironmaster products, let me know in the comments. This has been Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. I'll see you next time.